Hi everyone, this is Clarissa. I am a mommy work from home story blog, and this is just a little bit about me. I wanted to talk to you guys today a bit about my history with rheumatoid arthritis and what my experience has been and how I've been able to manage that successfully. So, this is my first daughter. This is Isabella. And right after Isabella was born, that's when I really felt it hard. When my body was just, I like to say, it was screaming at me. I was just so much pain. I mean, all of my joints were locked up every single night and every single morning. Getting out of bed was a hassle. It was a task and a half, y'all, getting out of that bed, with those joints just, I would cry every morning and I would cry going up the stairs in my home every night. Um, so my mom saw my situation, my condition progress and get worse with time. That's when I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis when Isabella was about 6 months old. And uh, I was prescribed pills. I was prescribed creams. I can't even tell you the names because that's how much time I gave those prescriptions. I mean, by the time I got home that day, I put them right in the garbage. Number one, I could not do physical therapy that I had to do 3 times a week. I did not have the time for that. I had a child. I was a stay-at-home mom. I was a stay-at-home mom because I don't trust anyone to take care of my children. So with my husband working full-time and family members working full-time, I had nobody to watch my child when I would go to physical therapy. So going to physical therapy was not an option for me. And number two, I was not going to take pills that were going to hinder the functionality of my other organs. I was not willing to affect my stomach, my liver, my kidneys. I just was not going to do it. I had a child and I plan to be here for as long as possible as I can for them. And we know that chemical medicine is not optimal. I mean, if we watch the commercials on TV for any prescription drugs, I mean, the side effects list goes far beyond the benefits that this pill brings. I mean, it just blows my mind how people don't take the time to think about that. The fact that we call it side effect makes you think like that's something on the side, like you don't have to pay much attention to it. But no, it's not a side effect. It's an inside effect. It's in you. That effect is happening to you in your body. It's not something that's left on the side. So just the fact that we call it side effect is a little psychology word, play on words to make you think that it's not really that important. But the damage that these medicines cause to your other organs is really something that people should stop and consider. And what I'm trying to say is, I'm not saying never ever take prescription drugs. Some of these drugs are extremely necessary, even with the side effects that they cause. But what I'm saying is, consider alternative medicine that has been working for so many years for so many people. See if it works for you as well. Not everyone's body will react the same, but see if your body will be prone to the effect that this can have, and that's what I did. So, being that I have rheumatoid arthritis, my mom saw my condition deteriorate and saw me progress so far beyond her personal degenerative arthritis condition. She saw me being, in her late 50s to me being 26, 27 years old and being in so much pain, so much more than her. Even though my mom's, like, her fingers were starting to, lose their shape and become deformed, the pain that I was in was far beyond the one that she was in. So she came across this company called Nikken, And she came across this company because a friend of hers was actually working at an internship for a radio station that was advertising a convention that this company was having, and they ended up going to the convention, my mom and her friend, and up in Orlando, Florida, and they had a great weekend of shopping and having fun, and they assisted one day of this company's convention. While my mom was there, she was baffled at what she saw from the people's testimonials on stage. So Nikken is, let me make something very clear right now. I am not one of those people who joins MLMs and starts pushing all these products to people. Not at all, so far from it. The reason why I took the time to actually talk about this company is because it has literally changed my life. If you have rheumatoid arthritis, if you know anyone with rheumatoid arthritis, they are in pain. You want them to watch this. You want them to get informed. If you know anyone who has diabetes and suffers from neuropathy on their feet, that is painful. They are in pain. They're suffering. You want them to take the time to watch this. It's super, super, super important that people who have these conditions and suffer from that amount of pain, that they are given the chance to get to know what else is out there other than whatever they're currently doing, because whatever they're doing, it's not working. They have to go get those cortisone shots. They have to take a handful of pills, all these creams that have to, there are things that are also negatively impacting their body with very little result or very little relief. There are other things out there that for many people is bringing, a world of a difference of relief without any damage, because it's natural. Okay. And it's natural because of how our planet is set up. My mom dragged me on a football Sunday to go watch a presentation of this company. We went to a parking lot, a Publix parking lot. If y'all are down south and you know Publix, we went to a Publix parking lot. There was a lady who had she lives in Orlando and had her bus, where is it? This is Susan Carver, and she has a mobile home, and I mean a really nice mobile home. And in that mobile home, this is Susan, she, right here, this mobile home, it's a very nice mobile home, guys. Like granite countertops and everything. So this, in her mobile home, she gave a presentation of, and I met, and this is Mariela, that's Susan, of Nikken. And I sat there, while I was sitting in her, on her couch. I actually was sitting on this product right here. They gave me this product to sit on while magnetic support, and I sat on this right here, on this seat pillow. This is a seat pillow that's on top of a rolling chair. It's not the whole chair. It's called a Kenko seat. And I sat on this for about 35 minutes or so as she went through the products. She explained the science behind it. A little bit about me. I was an honor student. My mom has tons of binders full of all my honor roll certificates. And I felt like I was back in high school at, in science class. And there's nothing that Susan said could be contested. It's all pure science. We know that the Earth is a magnet. It's got a south pole and a north pole, and we know that it's constantly emitting this magnetic field that flows from the north to the south and up again to the north and down to the south and so on a 3D spectrum all the way around our global sphere, and it is constantly emitting this magnetic field. And what happens when it's emitting this magnetic field is we are exposed to these are the magnets, by the way, on the C pillow. This is a portion you said that's your back. It's got magnets all the way through. So when our body is exposed to it, we have our body reacts to it. It's got a very specific reaction. It's sort of sucks right now that I'm doing this on video and I can't show you, but just to give you an idea, picture this in your mind. We do a strength test, and we don't look to see how strong you are. We want you to see the effect of your body being in connection and exposed to the Earth's magnetic field. So we'll do a strength test indoors and outdoors. We do an outdoors test where you go and step on a patch of grass, not on concrete, on a patch of grass where you're right specifically in contact with the earth. There's no barrier between you. And you stand there, you place yourself very firmly on the ground and stand in a stable position, and you stick out your arms in front of you, straight out, and then link your fingers together, like you're, holding hands. And you link your fingers together and hold your hands together, hands straight out right in front of you, and someone presses down on your hands and you give resistance. You push upwards and they push downwards on your hands. When you do that outside and you're standing on this patch of grass and you're exposed to the Earth's magnetic field, your strength is elevated. You're very strong outdoors. It takes a while, or the person has to put a lot of effort to push your hands all the way down, because your body is absorbing this magnetic field. But then come indoors, and then you step inside. You're no longer exposed to it, and you do the same exact strength test. You're so much weaker indoors. I love the fact that my husband was used for this example when we first went to this to Susan's mobile home. He was like, what? Because he's Mr. Skeptic. And when she was able to just push his hands down with no problem and almost no effort, he looked around and he was like, what's going on? And then she said, well, we'll see why. And then when she took out these insoles, she took out these magnetic insoles, the Kenko strides, and what she did was she put them on the ground, on the floor, and my husband stood on top of them with his sneakers on. He didn't have to take anything off. He just put his feet on top of this with his shoes on and did the same strength test indoors. And once again, he had the same exact strength that he had when he was standing outdoors. There are so many videos on YouTube that do this test that you can see. I don't like to tell people go and look at the videos. Why? Because you can always contest it because you're not doing it yourself. But if you have the opportunity, or if you are looking for some sort of relief, especially if you have neuropathy, this insult is the best thing that could ever happen in your life. In your life. The products, if we go over to Susan's website, if we go over to her website and we go to videos, we're going to look at, I'm not going to play the video for you, but I'm going to show you these videos, these insoles. They were on the Discovery Channel. A doctor did a diabetic insole study on the Discovery Channel, guys. The insoles were on TV. The benefits of sleeping on a magnetic bed has been on the news. There's videos on TV talking about the benefits. There's been doctors on TV talking about the benefits of being exposed to these magnets. But here's the difference, though, guys. Not just any magnets. You can't just go outside and